my airflow. I've got my airflow.
Why are we here? Evidently because we've got something in common. We've shared similar experiences spanning some of our most formative years, and although our experiences from different periods, we were basically cast in the same mould based on the traditions and the rule book of the FICs. We all know what it's like to leave home at a young age, and the pain of doing so was reiterated at the end of holidays, at the end of parents' days, when we suffered that parting yet again. We know the joys of Cheswardine with its magnificent property, the fun of wide games in its woods, swimming in the lake, some people fishing, daily sport, the open log fires, the magic of Christmas. I remember, John, in one of your things, one of your wiki entries, saying how you'd moved from Hunslet into this magnificent sort of mansion with its parkland. We all know about housework, waxing up floors, heavy polishes, where the people would know what we were talking about. We know the authority of the click finger and the meaning of bring me a book. We know the uncertainty and trepidation involved in taking the habit and in making vows, and our own private thoughts about that as we entered those stages of religious life. We know the joys and worries of the Jersey experience, you know, what we went through with different novice masters. We know about life in community. We lived the life of community. We're a group that knows the dawning of doubts and the difficult path from an organisation within which we'd been socialised for so many years. We know what was involved in the transition to a new life, in making that adaptation from going from, you know, many of us had different periods, but 13, 14, 15, 20 years within that organisation, and then moving out of it into different ways of life. And I think most of us agree that we all know that we benefited greatly from our experience. And the reason why I keep saying we know is because when I was asked to say these few words, I thought of Max Boyce, if you remember, the Welsh performer, and his punchline used to be, I know because I was there, and we know because we were there. We were all there at some stage in our life. And it's this knowledge which forms a bond between us. And when we talk to each other about that period of our lives, we don't have to try to imagine what it was like, which those who are closest to us have to do. They have to try to imagine what we're talking about. But when we talk, we know what we're talking about because we were there. However, we won't be having these exchanges now on this level, although some of us kept in contact over the years, one or two kept in contact. If it hadn't been for John creating the wiki, I'd never heard of a wiki before, but now I'm involved in this wiki. And so we thank John for that. And so if you could raise your glasses to John Lodge for doing it.
Cheers, John.
In the early days of the wiki, I remember Jim Howley coming online and saying something about, you know, we might have a reunion in Jersey. And there was some talk about perhaps a sponsored walk in Jersey and making a donation to the organ fund at the college. And I sat there at my computer, I thought nobody's ever going to do that. I've got a bit more generous since I fought out on the fair, but a lot of work, as well as John, but a lot of work has been done by Jim, and I've noticed that all the reunions, Jim's the daddy of the group. He's always in the background worrying about whether there should be a taxi or, you know, how we could get to so-and-so. So Jim, I think we should raise our glasses to you and say thank you to you.
Hi, Jim.
Two Ariels met on a roof. They fell in love and they got married. The ceremony was rubbish, but the reception was fantastic. Prick stick is not the best of lip salves, so you can't complain. Thank you.